So Gran Turismo 7 is having quite a large update. We've got content updates, general updates to other content, and also physics and simulation updates. I thought I'd just take a few minutes to go through all of the different changes, what I think to it, and I'd love to know what your opinions of the changes are too. So without further ado, let's have a look. The first thing we're going to be looking at here is the content, and we're getting 5 new cars, including historic Porsches and a minivan, bizarrely, but it is Gran Turismo 7 after all, so it's hardly a shock really. First of all, the Audi RS5 Turbo DTM from 2019, beautiful looking car, really good, and I mean, look, it's Gran Turismo 7. If there's something it does brilliantly, it is show off the cars, and they just look so pretty, don't they? I mean, just look at those screenshots, and this is one thing as well about Gran Turismo 7, it looks like that in the game too, doesn't it? Next up, Mazda 3X Burgundy selection from 2019. An interesting little car, I suppose, but I don't think many people will be picking that up, or picking the game up specific for that car. The Porsche 959, I've had a little go on that. It feels very 80s sports car. Brakes aren't that great, but it is good fun to drive. Beautiful car, absolutely beautiful car. Really nice addition there. And also Porsche Carrera GTS 904. And this thing really drives how you'd expect it to. Classic sports car, really fun. It gets really leery, and you can get the rear sliding around really nicely in it. It's good fun. And then the Toyota Alphard Executive Lounge. Now, we can say what we want about this, but honestly, it's this week's, or whatever, fortnight, timed challenge, and it's actually really fun to drive. It's not a sports car, obviously, and it does lumber around, lots of body roll and stuff, but it's funny to get it going around a track and get some lap times going. It is quite fun. Onwards, 2 new layouts of Nürburgring have been added. You've got the endurance version, which is basically half of the Nürburgring GP circuit, and the Nordschleife, which takes in the sort of easier chicane towards the end of the lap if you want, and then it cuts the track. I think this rejoins just after the Schumacher S there. Beautiful looking track. We've had some time around that on stream. There's the Nürburgring Sprint. You can see the cutout there. Welcome couple of additions really, because you've got a couple of layouts there. You've got the long one and the short one, so a variety of cars and situations can take advantage of those. And a Cherry Blossoms area is being added to Scapes, and honestly I'm not mad at that. I quite like taking screenshots, but I suppose I am a content creator. Next up, we're going to go through the car physics changes and the assist changes. Some of these are a bit vague for me, but we'll go through it. Suspension physics, they have changes calculations to the model of suspension geometry, and they've adjusted that. This will improve the stability of car orientation during braking and traction during acceleration, and the damping characteristics of the suspension have also been adjusted. This will improve stability of the car when going over bumps and curbs. And I have to say, I've got quite a tuned Honda Civic, and I took that around the Nürburgring Nordschleife, and I really attacked some of the gigantic curbs, and I have to say, it's very easy over those big curbs now. Probably not in a good way, but you can crack on, you know, and you can have a good race because of it, probably. Tyre physics. Stability when turning in low speed corners and over curbing has been improved. Tyre heating and wear model have been optimized, and the aquaplaning effect on wet surfaces has also been optimized. Any improvement to tyre physics is just a good thing, isn't it? I have to say, I've been enjoying this all morning in a variety of cars, at a variety of tracks, and it's just feeling really nice. I can't say I've tried any wet surface yet, though. Aerodynamics data for Formula cars has been updated, and the downforce and air resistance in relation to the vehicle ride height has been optimized. I don't like just saying optimized in relation to what, you know, It just seems a little bit vague. Anti-lag system, a limiter to prevent the engine RPM from rising too much while stopped has been implemented. And initial settings, changed initial settings of suspension and aerodynamics on race cars and certain road cars, and performance points of various cars in the game have been adjusted. Wireless controllers handling steering, the handling of cars has been improved by adjusting the steering algorithm when using controller stick or directional buttons, and controller handling force feedback. The handling of cars and steering information gained from force feedback should now be improved by adjusting the force feedback algorithm. And assist settings. Now, I don't use any assists on Gran Turismo 7, but we changed some of the default settings for assist presets in the assist settings as follows. Intermediate counter steering assistant changed from strong to weak, traction control changed from 5 to 3, and expert counter steering assistant changed from strong to off. If intermediate or expert was selected prior to the update, the settings will not be overwritten, but the assist preset will change to custom instead. And controls for traction control have been adjusted. The amount of intervention when set to 1 has been reduced and increased when set to 5. ABS have been adjusted. This has improved stability under full braking situations. And controls for active stability management have been adjusted. The amount of intervention when oversteering has been increased to improve stability. And controls for counter steering assistant have been adjusted. So the amount of intervention when oversteering has been reduced, making the amount of orientation change milder. And finally, we've got main features implemented. 5 new cars added that we had a look at earlier on, and tracks, which we've looked at. World circuits. New events have been added to world circuits. Nürburgring, a Japanese 4-wheel drive challenge 600. World Touring Car 800. Kyoto Driving Park Porsche Cup, Tokyo Expressway Japanese 4-wheel drive challenge 600. Scapes, we've already spoken about that being added, and extra menus have been added to the cafe area, which is a good thing. We've got Toyota family cars collector level 28 or above, and Ford GT collector level 44 and above. New sets of conversations with the car designers and characters appearing in the cafe have been added. These new conversations can be accessed by changing the following cars in the garage and speaking to the characters. And there, if you want to read through those, we have those. You can pause the video there. Display settings. Now, these might be interesting for quite a few people. Support for 120 Hz output and variable refresh rate have been added, and you can go and find out about those at that link. But you basically just go into video and sound settings on your PlayStation to sort that. Keyboard camera switching feature has been added to lobby races. In sport, in online championships, different leagues will have different penalty settings and race regulations. For the 2022-23 Exhibition Series, Season 4, the race schedule for GT2 and GT3 League will feature more entry slots to allow for a wider participation at different times of day. Now, as we've already talked about, the physics simulation model, that's just going over what we've already spoken about. Legend Cars Haggerty Collection prices have been revised based on real-life valuations from Gran Turismo partner Haggerty. Haggerty provides valuations and vehicle insurance for classic cars and has sponsored, historic car events. New prices will be applied the next time a vehicle goes on sale, and the next revision is scheduled for June 2023. Change the manufacturer of the CLK LM98 from AMG to Mercedes-Benz. World circuits. The target times for all events within the circuit experience have been adjusted, and the demonstrations have been updated accordingly. Also, ranking boards for all events have been reset. We have adjusted the settings for the pickup truck race on the following tracks: Willow Springs Raceway, Daytona International Speedway, and Colorado Springs. PP recommended values have changed. Also adjusted the settings for the World Touring Car 600 at Tokyo Expressway. An issue in which race swap was not available in some cases at the meeting place has been rectified. License Center, the target times for all events in the license tests have been adjusted and the demonstrations updated accordingly. Also, all event ranking boards have been reset. That's everyone going to set their times in the licenses again. They've adjusted settings for quite a few of the missions there. That'll be to do with the physics update. All of these will be to do with the physics update because they've just had to adjust the times on those. Escapes, the driver avatar will now be selected as default when onboard driver is enabled. Home, we addressed an issue which the online ID was displayed instead of the nickname on the car body during escapes and VR showroom. Track map display to the pit menu has been added. Localization, we rectified text localization, and other various issues have been addressed. So what do you think to that update? I think it's sizable. I think it's good. You've got content, you've got physics update, you've got quality of life updates. I know there are going to be people that are still unhappy with many things around Gran Turismo 7, but I honestly, personally am quite happy with the progress that's still being made and the support that's being offered to this title. Free content, always a good thing, and of course the physics updates. Let me know what you think down in the comments, guys, and as always, thanks so much for joining me.